Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Maggs. I'm a writer for IDW, and this is our Creator Spotlight. I am so thrilled to be joined here today with the great Julie and Stan Sakai, creators of Chibi Usagi. So excited to have you guys here today. Thank you for being with us. Can you tell our viewers each a little bit about yourselves for the folks just meeting you?
Well, Sam. I am Stan Sakai, and I have been doing Usagi Yojimbo for the past 37 years. And this Chibi Usagi is a new venture for me. My wife, Julie, has been doing a Chibi style for what, 35, 37 years?
800 years.
So we just thought it was a good opportunity to do a collaboration.
So this is your first creative collaboration, which is amazing. Can you talk a little bit about how you two work together to shape this tale?
Well, actually, this is not our first Chibi collaboration.
I should lose my job. I take it all back.
Yeah, even before we were married, we worked on a project for the, I think, 65th anniversary of Charles Schultz's Peanuts. And it was a coffee table book. And we collaborated on that in doing a short Charlie Brown, a Peanut story. And I knew Charles Schultz was a big influence on Julie's work. And by the way, Julie has been doing the Chibi style for about 35 years, doing craft fairs, t-shirts, rubber stamps, and a whole bunch of merchandise that has been sold at craft fairs and at museums, libraries, bookstores, and such. But this was our first full-length collaboration. And I was really happy. It was great. I love working with Julie.
Julie, what was it like bringing your very unique and specific art style together with Stan's writing style?
It was intimidating, actually, because he's such a professional, and he's just perfect in all his work, and just he's very exact and precise, and I'm really just organic and whimsical. So to merge those, it was a challenge for me, and I'm sure it was for him, because like for lettering, for instance, he would pencil in all the lines. He would have like 5 lines for me to use, and then I would just erase them all and just write the way I wanted to, because I couldn't conform. So.
Well, Julie, you're used to doing illustrations. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm more used to doing the sequential work. So this was an entirely new medium for you.
Yes.
And I love the collaboration. We worked on the story together, and we worked on the artwork together. I'm more used to the sequential work. So I would do the thumbnails or do very, very rough pencils for the artwork. And then I turn it over to Julie, and she would correct my pencils and then letter it. And the funny thing is that, I've gotten awards for my lettering. However, Julie did the lettering for this work, and it fits the artwork perfectly. And after she did all the inking, we turned it over to Emmy, Julie's daughter. And Emmy did the coloring, and the coloring is just fantastic. And even after Emmy's coloring, Julie went back and added more colors to it. So there's, even in the coloring, there's a little whimsical piece of Julie's personality in there.
Yeah.
That's a real family collaboration. I love that. And you guys were, oh, sorry, please.
No, I was going to say our son Daniel, Julie's son Daniel, did do negotiation with IDW, and it was Daniel who actually brought the project to IDW, and so it really was a family collaborative effort.
Such a good fit too. IDW makes so many great, like all ages and kids comics. So I love this. When you guys were putting together the story for Chibi Usagi, what were the key elements that went into it that you knew were like, ah, this is what makes for a good children's story?
For me, I think it's really important for kids to feel secure and safe and to have fun. And I think with Stan's storytelling, and we have like a scary forest and they get lost. And I think that's a lot of children's fear is getting lost and things like that. But I wanted to show, and we wanted to show that through unity of their friends and the love and trust of friends and those around them, it conquers fear. And I think that was I think that's what makes a good story, it's and relatable for kids.
Now, this Chibi Usagi book is a very character-driven story, and each person has their own personalities, and you can see how they work together, and sometimes even against each other. But they all, cooperate in the end to overcome the great Salamander King. And I'm really proud of the story.
And you should be. It's great.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the Salamander King or the Dogu Clay People even were based on or influenced by folk tales, or are they complete original creations?
These were inspired by history and folk tales. The giant salamander actually exists in Japan. It's the second largest amphibian in the world, the largest being the Chinese salamander. And as far as he breathes fire in our story, and I got that from European or Middle Eastern mythology, whereas the salamander is associated with fire. The dogu are little clay figures, and they're part of Japanese history. They have found dogu, these little figures, throughout Japan, and they don't know what the dogus mean or what they represent or what they're used for. But we have our own take on that.
I love that. I love being able to come up with your own theories about stuff like that. My favorite panels in the book, and Topher will have some examples here, but my favorite examples of, like, my favorite art in the book are the panels that really show this mix of how cute your chibi characters are with also how fierce they can be. Like a great example of that is that panel where the King Salamander is breathing fire, and then immediately he's like kind of cute afterwards. Or like when our squad is all like, "We will end you," but they're like also very adorable at the same time. I love that combination of like cute and fierce. Oh yeah, this is my favorite panel. It's so funny. Do you guys have a favorite panel? And if so, I also know you guys have some original art to show us. So I would love to see a little bit of both of those if possible.
Well, let's see. Now, my favorite sequence is when they're going through the deep forest, and this is some black and white artwork of the. I'm sorry, I'm covering your face. About how they're going through the forest, hopping over the mushrooms, and going through some of the obstacles during the forest. Here's another sequence. They're actually going through the passing the lakes and the ponds, and just going through the forest. And it's strange for them, and they get lost, but they have the little dogu character here to guide them. Do you have a favorite?
Did you have a favorite one to draw, perhaps, Julie?
I like the one with the big mountains, like the rocks. And they're so tiny. I like the comparison of them being so tiny and the rocks are so huge, and just it's a feeling of honest and fear and just excitement at the same time. And I think that just allows the reader to see, to just like be in the picture and feel those emotions.
I love that. Absolutely. My last question for you both today. What do you hope the kids who read Chibi Usagi will feel when they're finished reading it?
I think hopefully they'll feel the same emotions I had, because after I read it, I loved it, and there are lessons to be learned. However, it's a great adventure, and I look towards the old the Karl Barks for inspiration, Tintin, those old classics. And I think we came up with a really good story. And I love the collaboration that we did. We worked on the stories together, the plotting the story, doing the artwork, and even coloring. And I'm really proud of this project.
I like it when kids read a story and then they go outside and they reenact it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a great way for them to play, act, and use their own imaginations. And I just want it to be like like a jumping, for them to
like a jumping off point.
Yeah, just their own imagination, and to be able to collaborate and be with their friends, and just something for them to create for themselves.
Those are both such great answers. I can't wait to see more collaborations from the two of you in the future. And Julie and Stan, I appreciate you both so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
If I could interrupt, there's one more collaboration we just finished, and that is ink and watercolor drawing. Again, I roughed it out very roughly. Julie corrected it. And she watercolored it, and I love it. This is a scene from the book where they're catching unagi, which is freshwater eels.
Oh my gosh, it's so great. So beautiful. Everything you guys make together is beautiful. This was a delight. And to all of our viewers, please be sure to pick up Chibi Usagi Attack of the Heebie Chibis, available at comic book shops and bookstores on Tuesday, June 29th. Stan and Julie, thank you again so much.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Thanks.